What's up, Team Tackle? This is Coach Matt. In morning action today, we're watching U.S. stocks test breakout levels. We got strong breakouts in the commodity space with silver going ham. Robinhood's getting a snub from the S&P 500, a big split coming out of Warner Brothers, a downgrade out of Tesla, and we got a great trade idea at the end of the video, so stick tuned to that. We're going to break it down in detail. Also, don't sleep on Master Trader here tonight. We got the Traders Lounge and the Delta Dogs for the pro members, but Master Trader later on tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hit the link in the description below and you can come and learn trends, patterns, support, resistance, and we're going to work on specific tradable setups tonight in Master Trader. At the end of the video, I'm going to walk you through what's called a multiple time frame breakout setup. We're going to focus on it in Master Trader later tonight. You can sign up for absolutely free for that amazing foundational course in the link in the description below, and I hope to see you tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, when you're looking at today, and we're kind of talking about the market here today, a little bit of a doji. We'll get into the market here in just a second. Just from an overall news perspective, the market is looking at that 6,000 barrier on the ES. We're going to break it down here in a second. Trade talks are in focus, but when you're looking at the major data this week and what to anchor against on the economic calendar perspective, let's go over to Forex Factory very quickly just to kind of show you what we're dealing with this week. First and foremost, we don't have major earnings this week. It's really laid back from an earnings perspective. Economically, there's really only two reports this week that are going to be headline type reports. It's going to be market drivers. And it really starts on Wednesday with the CPI report coming out at 5:30 a.m. Pacific. That'd be 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the headline inflationary report. And when you're dealing with inflation, there's going to be a few reports you want to really kind of focus on. CPI is number one, and then we can debate the second one, whether it's PPI report or the PCI report or the labor or wage growth within the labor data. But CPI is generally held as the number one inflationary report. It's the headline report. It's the one that impacts the consumers. And so we get that report here this week. We get the headline report coming out on Wednesday, and then we get the pipeline report coming out on Thursday. So keep an eye on those inflationary reports as they do impact the market. We're going to talk about commodities here today. Silver, industrial metals, really driving price action right now. And then we're going to get into Robinhood, Warner Brothers, and Tesla. As Robinhood was left out of the S&P 500, Warner Brothers is going to do a little bit of a split into two separate companies, and the market is certainly celebrating that. And then Tesla out of Bard got a downgrade, citing weak fundamentals and concern over obviously Elon Musk's outlook and political ties, and we all kind of know the story that is going on with Tesla right now. When you're looking at the heat map here today, kind of a mixed market here. Tesla doing good, Amazon, Google, Meta, Apple. Well, what are we seeing? We're seeing kind of the technology space here today. That's the highest rated sector at Tackle Trading. Max 7's kind of leading the charge here today. Now let's take a look at the technical conversation. When you're looking at the market here, market's really battling that $600 level in the SPY. That opens up as it does all the way to about 610 to 613. Not a lot of resistance above that price action. Got a little bit of open air. And when you come over to the ES to take a look at the futures market, you can kind of see what I'm talking about when it went that little moment of open air. Look at the intraday. You claimed that 6,000 level for the first time late last week on Friday with the close. And when you're looking at the hourly chart here on the intraday side of the equation, you can kind of see this level right here at the 60-20 level. That level is kind of that last level before you start working up into more significant levels of resistance. Market's waiting on some degree of catalyst to break it out of that intraday side of the equation. But if it does, market does open up into that 62 level when it looks at the S&P 500. Let's take a look at the commodity space here today, and let's just take a look at silver here. As silver broke out last week. We dialed that one in at Tackle Trading. Pro members are all over this silver breakout. When you look at the weekly chart, this is a beautiful breakout with not a lot of things to stop it. You look at it from a longer term perspective, you are in officially open air, and you don't have any major resistance levels until you start working into the low 40s. And so keep an eye on silver. If you don't feel like you want to chase it because you missed the breakout, well, at Tackle Trading, and I'll teach you that later on tonight in Master Trader, if you miss the break, you wait on the retracement. And so that's it. It's a momentum condition right now. We're seeing not only in silver, you're seeing it in palladium looking really, really good. You're seeing it in platinum coming looking really, really good. The industrial metals are firing off here. And once again, if you miss those breakouts, put it on the radar. Wait on that next retracement. Let's talk a little bit about the stock areas of the market that are in the news here today. Robinhood's in the news because they were expected to get a little bit of an invite to the big dance, the S&P 500. They get snubbed here today, and they give up that momentum a little bit. Now, the ultimate question on Robinhood is not if they're going to get invited to the big dance. That's obviously going to be a positive catalyst, and I fully expect Robinhood to make that at some point. But the big question here today is, can that 9 EMA hold? When you're dealing with momentum trends love the 9 EMA as an anchor. You're seeing that here today. You've seen it recently. If the 9 EMA does give out and we close underneath that 9 EMA, you're going to be seeing a little bit of a momentum shift. And so a good test against that 9 EMA right now. We'll see how Robinhood handles that. Warner Brothers, like I said, get a little bit of celebration, but maybe a little bit in front of their skis here today, as Warner Brothers is going to be splitting into two different companies. And then the last stock story here today was that of Tesla, who has been just getting absolutely crushed last week. Last week was a very difficult week for Tesla investors, no doubt about that. Tesla traders, and I know a few of them who were looking at that breakout, kind of got stopped out. Lots of volatility to the downside. It's trying to get that dialed in. It's trying to stave off that volatility, but that downgrade here today is certainly not going to help. And like I said at the end of the video here today, I wanted to really talk about two different things. Number one, the top trade idea. And if you're not getting morning action, definitely sign up for morning action so you can receive the email and get this landing page in your inbox and get it every single day. But when you're looking at the top trade idea here today, this is a technical pattern I'm going to talk about in Master Trader later on tonight. We're looking at Groupon here in GRPN. And let's go ahead and take a look at Groupon GRPN from a pure technical perspective. Coach Frank put it as the trade of the day because it has a high base with momentum in trend. And when you have momentum in trend, you're going to be looking for two distinct patterns. Number one, you're going to be looking for a little bit of what's called a bull flag based pattern, which is a retracement down to the 9 EMA, or you're going to be looking for what we call a high base. And a high base pattern is simple consolidation. And oftentimes the 9 EMA catches up to it in that consolidation, like we saw over here just recently in its previous pattern. We're seeing a little bit of that play out here today as well, as Groupon, good momentum in trend, good trend on the bullish side of the equation. Momentum's been very consistent, and now it's looking at a potential breakout. That's the top trade idea of the day at Tackle Trading. And what we're going to talk about later on today in Master Trader is we're going to be talking about technical analysis in general. I'm going to be walking people through how to read trends, patterns, support, resistance, how to start prepping trades, using indicators for secondary confirmation. But I was asked yesterday, what's one of my favorite trade patterns? And you saw it on the Traders Report here this week. We call it a multiple time frame breakout. And there's a couple examples from the Traders Report this week. A multiple time frame breakout is when you're looking at a potential breakout of resistance or support, and it's from a multiple time frame perspective, meaning you see it on the daily chart. You have a good pattern, resistance is playing out on the daily chart, and you kind of see that right here on Black Sky at that 1250 level. Well, if you take that out to the longer term chart and you look at it on the weekly chart, you're also finding a weekly level of resistance. That's multiple time frame. And the more time frames you can line when you break those levels, will obviously obviously that's going to create a little bit more of an additional momentum environment. And so we love multiple time frame breakouts at Tackle Trading. Black Sky was not the only one on the report this week. Travis Etienne was a nice little potential multiple time frame. HIMZ was a beautiful multiple time frame breakout as well. And so at Tackle Trading, Master Trader is the foundational course for everything we do at Tackle Trading. And so if you have an interest in learning how to identify trends, patterns, support, resistance, be able to trade those without even a thought, where you can prep those trades just instinctual. Well, that's what we do in Master Trader. It's going to be about a 2.5-hour course here tonight. We typically only do this for our pro members, but we're opening up to the general audience here this month as we are in our amazing conference season where we do a lot of different webinars in this month. We got Master Trader tonight. We got the Tackle 25 covered calls next week. We're going to be focusing on covered calls. We're going to be doing day trading tradable setups the week after. We're going to be doing swing trading the week after. And we're going to end on July 7th with a live AMA with all the coaches of Tackle Trading. And so we got a great month planned for everybody at Tackle Trading for our general audience, and we hope to have you become that pro member as well. And so if you're interested in Master Trader, that does start tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that said, I hope to see you in Master Trader. Have a wonderful day.